Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. This is a bit of a follow-up to one of the threads that was going around to name albums with great openers. And I thought I would flip the coin on this one. I did that video a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago, and I thought I would see if I could find some albums that I really do like, but where the openers are actually not very good. They're a bit disappointing and are just not really good openers of albums. Now, one thing I will say is I do really like all these albums. I'm not saying they're all fantastic, but they're all at least very good. And this was really difficult to do because most albums really do have good openers, because that's the first song is the one that actually draws you in. So normally they're not going to put a stinker as the first track, but in some cases I think they have actually put a bit of a stinker in the first track, and I could only manage to get 8 altogether. So I'm going to show them. This is going to be quite a short video, and the first one's a CD. And this is Squeeze's Some Fantastic Place, and this is one fantastic album. But the first song is called Everything in the World, and it doesn't start the album with a bang. In fact, it's probably the worst song on the LP. Well, it's a CD, so I don't have the vinyl album. I don't have that amount of money. For me, it's a bit of a second-rate, almost Motown feel to it, but thankfully from the second song onwards, and that's where I play this album, is from the second song onwards, is all excellent. For me, the best song as a starter would definitely have been Third Rail, and that would have been a really good opener. I just don't understand why Everything in the World was the opener. I believe it was also a single in America, if not a promo. But no, it never appealed to me. So that's Everything in the World from Squeeze's 1993 album, Some Fantastic Place. Fleetwood Mac, 1979, and this is their Tusk album. And this starts off with a seriously boring Over and Over. It's a Christy McVie song. It'd been okay if it was the last song on maybe side 3 or something like that there, but for me, no. It just starts off with a whimper. You had Monday Morning off the 75 album, then Second Hand News off Rumours, and for me this one is just not great at all. I'm not too sure what I would actually have put off as the opening track. I think something like the actual title track itself would have been a good opening track, but Over and Over is just a bit too bland to start off a double album. It's a great album though. A lot of people find this difficult to listen to. I think it's great, and it just shows the genius of Lindsey Buckingham. So that's Fleetwood Mac's Tusk from 1979. Next up, another double album from 76. And this is Elton John's Blue Moves, and the opening track on this is like a 2-minute long instrumental called Your Starter For, and it was written by the guitarist Caleb Quay, and it sounds like something from, it sounds like the theme tune for a 1970 sitcom. I just don't understand why it's included at all in the album. It just does nothing for the album. And then after it finishes, the first song proper comes on, Tonight, which is a great song. It's a bit long-winded though, but I would still have preferred the album to have started with Tonight. I just don't understand why Your Starter For was even included. So good album though. Blue Moves features great songs like Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word. Possibly Crazy Water could have been a good start for this album, a little bit of an upbeat start. So yeah, I'll say Crazy Water would have been a better opener. Another album I've shown quite a bit, and I love this. This is Mungo Jerry's debut album. This is full of kazoo, full of that washboard instrument. Oh, it's not an instrument, it's actually a washboard that you roll a thimble across to get a certain sound. It's a real good foot stomping album, but it starts off with the song Baby Let's Play House, the old rock and roll number, which is completely different to the rest of the album. It doesn't fit on the album at all. I would have started this one off with a song called Maggie, which is a great number. Baby Let's Play House would have fit well on about their 4th or 5th album, but to me, I don't understand why it's here. So Mungo Jerry's debut album, great album, but I'm not keen on the opening track. Slade's Old New Borrowed and Blue, their 1974 album, and they start off with a rock and roll cover, Just Want a Little Bit, and it's the worst song on the album. Again, why they chose that. The second song, When the Lights Are Out, I think is the first song proper, and it should have been opening the album. There was no need for Just Want a Little Bit. It's okay. It's just it's a step backwards, I think. To be honest with you, it would have sounded better on something like Play It Loud. But this is 74 at the height of their glam, and no, it just doesn't work for me. But apart from that, the album's fantastic. There are really strong hard rockers, like We're Really Gonna Raise the Roof, and the Glass smashing Don't Blame Me, which was the B-side of Merry Christmas Everybody. But yeah, it's a fantastic album, but not keen on the opening track. So there's only 3 more left, and one of my heroes, Nick Lowe, and this is Jesus of Cool. This is actually the reissue version from the late 80s, and it starts off with the weakest track on the album, Music for Money. Sorry, second weakest track on the album. The weakest track is Shakin' Pop. I think this should have just started off with I Love the Sound of Breaking Glass, but a slightly disappointing starter for a brilliant album from 1978, Nick Lowe's Jesus of Cool. Some people will disagree with me with this one, but the Beach Boys, Summer Days and Summer Nights, and this starts off with The Girl from New York City, which I'm not keen on. I think it's almost like a very bog standard sort of blues influenced rock and roll song, which to me it sounds as if it's a cover version, but it's not. It's a Brian Wilson song, and it's not very exciting at all. I just think it's a step back again, which maybe would have sounded better in 1962 rather in 1965. I think this was released. There's so much better songs on this that would have started off the album. For example, California Girls or Let 'Em Run Wild would have been great starters. You're So Good to Me also, and I even love the Amusement Park USA, which I think it's hilarious. Maybe it's a bit of a silly song, but it's far better than The Girl from New York City. This is a really strong album. It's just I'm not too keen on the first song. So that's the Beach Boys, Summer Days and Summer Nights. And lastly, from the 60s as well, and this is the Kinks Controversy, and this starts off with Milk Cow Blues, which is a cover version, and again I think this is a step back for them. This would have sounded better on their first album, never mind their third. This is the album where Ray Davies really started to come into his own as a songwriter. With he still had the rock and roll You Really Got Me feel with things like Till the End of the Day, and Where Have All the Good Times Gone, but that whimsical sound with Ring the Bell, sorry, and I'm on an Island showed how he was progressing with his songwriting, and it's a very strong album, but Milk Cow Blues to me is not very good. So that's the Kinks Controversy, Milk Cow Blues, not the best. I would have started this one off with probably, I'm not too sure actually, maybe Just Till the End of the Day, which is a far better song. Okay, so that's me. That's 8 albums I could find where I'm not keen on the opening tracks. I'm thinking of doing maybe a little more controversial one where looking at some of the opening tracks that are really, really good, but I don't think they're great opening tracks. If you see what I mean, they're great songs, but I don't think they should be opening the albums. I've got a couple in mind. I'll have a think, and if I can get at least 10, I will do that. Okay, so but anyway, that's me for now. I hope you enjoyed that, and all the best now. Bye bye.